And welcome, all my beautiful, vibrant hearts and ephemeral souls who are Gemini suns, have big Gemini placements, or are cross watchers for Gemini. Welcome to your month ahead messages, looking at the month of May 2025. What we're going to do here today is I am going to use the Oracle cards to get your overarching themes for the month ahead. I will then clarify with the tarot for further details and messages. Okay. I'm getting a very take charge energy for you guys. And I kind of was, if I remember correctly, I was kind of picking up on a little hint of this in your messages for April. So this might be kind of a continuation of that energy, but there's like a take charge sort of quality that's going to be unfolding in May. I'm hearing it's going to be hard. Some of you, it's like you're going to have to overcome something, but you're finding the motivation, the willpower, the drive to make a big change that you know you need to make, or to flow with the change that's happening, right? Like something might be kind of unfolding for you, and your power comes from your perception and how you want to look at it. And a lot of you guys are taking on that challenge to, control your thoughts, which it's tough. It's tough. I too have significant Mercury placements. Our thoughts are our palace and our prison. I get it. But that seems like that's what's unfolding. So let's take a look. It's not this one. It is this one. What was it not? Universal Love came out, and it came out reversed. 44 here. Some of you are 44. Some of you are Life Path 4. You have or 8, because 44 breaks down to that, but that's a power number. And I actually am getting this energy of this is disconnecting from something. There is someone or something in your energy, pardon my itchy nose, that you have allowed a spot in your life is what I'm getting. Allowed a spot in your mind, allowed a spot in your energetic circle. And it's like a quiet kind of like an energy. It doesn't feel like it's something that you talk a lot to this person, or that you talk a lot about it. It's always operating there in the back of your mind, or you're always aware of it. You're always holding space for it. And it kind of feels like you're like, you know what, no more. I'm not doing this. I don't need to give to this anymore. I don't need to hold out hope is kind of a vibe here. There's like this recognition with the number 8, right? And the repeating 4s, that in order to have stability, there needs to be a balance, right? 8 for me is about manifestation and abundance, but it's also the balance between the material and the spiritual. So there's kind of this energy I'm almost picking up with universal love of like, yeah, being able to accept and hold an equal value and measure that this and that are true. Yes, I can be spiritually connected to something and be apart from it and set boundaries with it. Yes, something may have been part of my growth, part of my path, and I can let it go now, right? I'm noticing we have like the different points here, right? There's 6 of them. So 6 is a number of balance and universal love, as well as harmony. So this does feel like something interpersonal. This also, I'm getting like 6th house energy. So this could have to do with how you have your daily life set up. Again, it's like something that whatever this has been, it's been with you in your day to day. And you've been holding space for it in some form or fashion. You'll know how this resonates with you. But some form or fashion, and it's getting in the way. It's getting in the way of you taking steps forward. It's getting in the way of a blessed change that you know you need to make. Some of you, it's like, it's getting in the way of you accepting a better opportunity. So like, for example, I'm getting this energy. Let's say that you wanted to take a better job, right? But that might require you to relocate. Part of you might be holding on to somebody in your area, like maybe waiting for them to come back, waiting to see what they think of things, waiting to, like, you're always kind of there in case they need you. And it's kind of like, you know what, I'm not holding on for this anymore. I'm going to go do the thing that I know I need to do. So there's this energy of cutting something off because it's really just not serving you anymore. Magic is reversed. Magic is real, and that's 31, reducing to another 4. Some of you, especially for those of you who are in your 40s, because we had 44 and 31. Some of you have been involved with this situation or this person since you were 31. It's gone on for a moment. It's been a minute, my friends, but this is all about creating more stability in your life to be able to manifest, to be able to create abundance on top of that. Pardon my itchy nose. There's something where, for me, magic is always like this energy of flow, right? There's something where your life is stagnant. It's not in flow because this thing has been creating blockage, right? This thing in your life. I want to be like, what is this thing? We had perception come out. This is a mindset. We have another 8 as well. So this is a mindset about what you can achieve, what you can create, how much balance you can have in your life. And it feels like you guys are taking some kind of charge, like, giddy up, cowboy. I kind of like this, honestly. Yeah, opportunity. See how we have card 16, though? That would be the Tower card in the tarot. There's an opportunity with the Bumblebee. So there's this opportunity knocking that might involve new people, new work, new places, a new community. I love that too, because the mug that I had for today. There we go. There is something new that is, like, it's calling you. I almost said gesturing to you. I won't say what the gesture is. But there's kind of this energy of, like, in order to take that with the Tower, you have to be willing to let things fall. And I feel like this month you guys are willing. Yeah, because at the bottom we have self worth, love, value, and respect. You've been working on cultivating a better relationship with yourself. See how we have the 3 coins as well? It makes me think of the 3 of Pentacles. So for some of you, this is a job, but this has a lot to do with who you align yourself with, right? And aligning yourself with people, I'm getting this energy, who have better values. I almost said better values than you. So maybe better values than whoever it is you've been dealing with. Better values. It's like people who encourage you to be your best self. People who have a good head on their shoulders or something kind of like that. So let's look at what you have. You have the root chakra. It was originally reversed. Since I don't really read oracle cards like that for the most part, I'm going to put it upright. We have card 1. The frequency of the root chakra. The red flower of life stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well as in the physical world. You guys might be drawn to a lot of red this month, so that is root chakra energy. I also was about to say this before, and I wish I had. For me, because red is the color of destiny, there is, again, a destined opportunity that is knocking. We have conception here, to begin something new. Again, card 16. Tower energy, to begin something new. And obviously conception can mean what it sounds like, but it's also just like the beginning of something new, right? You have the destined opportunity to be able to start fresh. For some of you, this is just in your own life. Again, new job, new career, new way of handling your finances. Some of you are preparing, whether you're doing this consciously or not, preparing to receive more money by changing the way that you handle money. So for example, if you're like, screw it, I want to manifest more financial abundance, you might have taken stock and noticed that certain people in your life encourage you to do things that go against those goals, or that would be antithetical to your financial goals. And there's kind of a sense of like, I'm not holding space for that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. You're setting limits and boundaries, it feels like, with yourself and others. Victory, and we have card 40 here. So again, repeating 4s are very, very significant. This is all about your stability, my friend. 6 of Wands kind of energy with this card. And again, it was also reversed initially. I'm putting it upright. This is like, I feel like you're looking at everything and you're seeing what you want to accomplish, what you want to be known for, how you want to be celebrated. And you're either recognizing that the way your life has been set up is like, that ain't it. Or that there are things that are keeping you from your long-term vision, success, goals. This also feels like, with the binoculars, I'm almost getting this energy of like how people see you. There's like, let me try to describe this energy. There's a feeling here of recognizing, if I want to be, this type of person, or I want to be, embodying this energy. Part of that is also surrounding yourself with people who are also embodying that energy and are willing to see you like that. So it feels like there's something where you're cutting something loose from your past that has not been serving you, that keeps you stuck, but that also, it's like this person from your past. I keep wanting to say person, so I'll stick with that. This person from your past, or the situation in your past, requires you to stay as the same version of yourself you've always been. Like, that's the only way they can see you. And it kind of makes it hard for you to like really step out of that role and grow. And it feels like this is a month where you're like not putting it up with it anymore. Page of Pentacles. And see how we have the sign right here? You have decisions to make. You have a path to choose. The Queen of Cups. So we have Capricorn. We have Cancer. In case any of those placements are significant. And then 9 of Cups. I always say that too because we have the little crab. This is like giving Cancer energy in this deck in particular. And Strength at the bottom. You could be dealing with a Leo. You could have Leo placements. Okay. This feels like For some of you, this new path that you want to take, there's a new path, right? New beginning. We saw that with the root chakra energy, with the Page of Pentacles here. And this Page of Pentacles is saying this new path you want to take, this new direction you want to move in, really requires that you're a willing student, right? So followed up with the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Cups, this openness is emotional in nature. And this emotional openness has a lot to do with finding out what makes you truly happy. There's an independence with the Nine of Cups, right? Especially because the cat here is fighting the crab. And we have this Queen of Cups, so again, a lot of Cancer energy. Some of you, it's like you always feel like you need to do things for other people's approval, particularly your family's approval, or like you always need to be ready and on call to like be this kind of Queen of Cups energy for other people, to be loving, to be nurturing, to clean up after other people's messes sometimes. And there's kind of this sense of like, I don't want to do that in this next chapter of my life. I want to tune in to figure out what I want. I want to tune in to figure out what I want to make, what I want to create. For some, you're trying to figure out where you want to live or what the perfect home and family would feel like for you. And so there's like this sense of really thinking about how to move in a different direction. I also feel like some of you want to become like, excuse me, a little softer with the Queen of Cups, a little bit more open, a little more emotionally receptive. That's something that you desire. Some of you would like to be more comfortable being on your own. See how this person's alone? And again, the nines are very singular energy. You'd like to be more comfortable being on your own, being happy like that. And this might be at odds with this desire to want to be close to other people. Or again, some of you, you're very close with your family or with like a friend group, and it's like they want to keep you, because the Queen of Cups is somebody who's very emotionally mature, she's very giving, but when she kind of gets tapped out and burnt out, like she can be the mom friend, and so you could have people who kind of need to keep you in that role instead of letting you sort of blossom into somebody who knows how to care for themselves, who gives to themselves first, and then the overflow, right? Fills their own cup first, and then the overflow goes to others instead of the other way around. So let's get more details about what this is. What's this Queen of Cups? The Emperor. Whew. Mufasa, Mufasa, Mufasa. Clarifying the Nine of Cups, the Page of Wands. I really like this. And clarifying the Page of Pence. We have the Queen of Pentacles. First of all, I have to remark on how many people are depicted here with the pages, the queens, the emperor. I also have to say there's a really good balance of masculine and feminine energy here. We have Virgo with the Queen of Pentacles, we have Aries with the Emperor, and we have Aries with the Page of Wands. So very strong Aries energy coming through as well. What's at the bottom? The Hierophant. Taurus. I feel like I'm sitting with this for a sec. Some of you are redefining a relationship to a mother just because the Queen of Cups and Queen of Pentacles are maternal archetypes. Whenever I see the Page of one suit, the King or Queen of the same suit, that's a parent-child relationship to me. So some of you are stepping out into your own kind of definition of abundance. Some of you, it's like you may have thought you wanted to focus on the career track and like family is becoming more important. Others view it's the other way around where it's like, oh, I thought I wanted to kind of do more of the traditional family route, but actually investing into myself and my career, that's something I'm excited about. That's where my heart and soul is. But this is really going to be a month where what you're looking at is how to start this new journey and how to help it grow. There's a self-nurturing quality to both the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, right? A self-care quality, self-love and self-respect, right? Queen of Cups being self-love, the Queen of Pentacles being self-respect. And those two go hand in hand, but they are distinctly different entities. And so what I feel like this is all about is making like big moves, making big decisions with the Emperor that support your sense of personal well-being. This also could be where you're putting up boundaries with people. You might have certain astrological signs. You're like, I don't know why I'm dealing with them. This is really hard for me. I don't know why. But there's a sense here of looking at the arcs of your life and where things are going and being able to use that as sort of like, not a warning sign, but kind of like something where it's being able to use that to be able to kind of make big decisions, right? How do I get to where I want to go? The binoculars again. How do I get to where I want to go, and who is in the way of that? For some of you, like I said, it's a mother. For some, there's like a father figure with the Emperor. For some of you, it's like this image of who you think you should be, right? And there's kind of being willing to let that go a little bit. Because with the Nine of Cups and the Page of Wands, this is really going to be a month where you're making grounded decisions that help you get excited about life, right? Some of you have a new hobby you're investing into, right? And some of you, there's like a fear of like starting fresh, starting new, especially if you've already established something elsewhere. So this could be like starting a totally new career path. This could be starting a totally new like lifestyle. What is this predominantly that you guys are starting? Oh, the Ace of Wands and then the Seven of Wands. Okay. Something I'm getting, this could be something creative. This is a part of yourself that you've fought off in the past, right? You've been at odds with this. There's like this draw with the Ace of Wands, this passion, right? I want to, I want to pursue this, or like, I'm interested in this. And this may have in the past, like I said, been something that you fought off with the Seven of Wands. Like, I want to pursue my own independent dreams and goals, but what about if my family needs me, right? There's something where it felt like it was in direct conflict and opposition with who you knew yourself to be, and for some, with who the people in your life knew you to be. So there's this like push-pull dynamic with the Ace of Wands and the Seven of Wands, of like, I feel inspired to do this. I feel inspired to go in this direction. I want to be this kind of a person, right? My future is calling me. But there have been other influences in the way that you've either had to fight off, or you would have to fight off in order to pursue this. And it feels like this is a month where you're really emotionally connecting with that goal in order to give yourself the courage, the fortitude, the motivation to take those tough steps. And there's the Eight of Wands. I was just thinking, oh, the Ace and the Seven is the Eight. Boom. There it is. Ace, Seven, and Eight of Wands. It feels like this is where you kind of, because in this version, she's holding the 1 and the 7 are in the wind, right? You hold on to that inspiration of the Ace of Wands. You hold on to like, no, some of you want to write a book. There's like, no, I'm going to do this, right? I'm meant to do this. And with that root chakra energy, it's really about feeling stable and grounded and supported by the universe, but it's also about taking a tangible step toward that goal. Some of you, it's like with the Eight of Wands, this is Mercury and Sagittarius energy, so it's an expansive mind frame. And it's like you see something a different way and you can't unsee it, right? You can't turn back. You're like, I gotta follow this path. I gotta put up a boundary with this person. What are you leaving behind? Because I do feel like there's a person specifically. I'm just nosy, I'm sorry. I'm spiritually nosy and regular nosy. Not that much, but Ace of Pentacles, okay. Six of Wands at the bottom. I gotta say, for some of you, this is where somebody that you might know, an emperor perhaps, might want to have a child with you, and you're deciding you don't want to do that. You're deciding like, you know what? Parenthood is actually not for me. Or having more children is not for you, especially if you're like, not quite like maybe empty nest, but like if you're at an age where like you could have another child, but you don't want to, or you could like, I don't know, be more in a family way, but you don't want to. It's kind of like, no, I don't want to do that. Five of Pentacles reverse. This is something, no matter how this resonates, there is an offer here, and I feel it's from this Emperor energy. There is an offer here that's very solid, very grounded, but it feels like this is something you've already done with the Five of Pentacles. So even though it's solid, this could be even something where it's a great job and you're getting like the offer of a promotion, but you're like, why would I stick with this thing that I already know I don't like? That's kind of the energy, is like, and there's kind of this frantic quality with the Ace, Seven, and Eight of Wands where it's like, I've seen it differently. I can't go back anymore. I can't do any more of this. That's the vibe. You could have somebody that you have this like on again, off again kind of energy with the Five of Pentacles, somebody who it feels like they're making a lot of false promises, or like, yeah, when I get to this point in my career, then we'll settle down. Yeah, then when I have more time for you in a relationship, then I'll commit. Somebody who's kind of in and out of your life, even though we don't see that energy here. It feels like with the Emperor, there's a lot of promises. They keep the promises they make, but there's like, they're not going to say anything that they don't back up, but they also don't like, they don't make a lot of changes. So this person might be trying to make changes now, especially if intuitively they feel like you're out the door. They may try to make changes. For some, if this is somebody that you want to leave behind, this might be somebody that's a long-term partner, excuse me, or somebody that you are even married to and you want to leave the relationship and they are like trying to get you to have a child. Just beware of that. It feels like this also could be somebody where you've been asking them for something for a really long time. Like a really long time, I'm getting. For some of you, it's like for 5 years. You've been asking them for an answer. You've been asking them, some of you want to know what you mean to this person. But you've been asking them for some show of commitment, of stability, of some, semblance of understanding about what this is or what's going to come out of this. And they haven't given it to you. And you may have put up a boundary, given an ultimatum, or that may just be in your energy where you're like, I think I want to be done with this. And it kind of feels like that's when this offer comes in. Oh, now I'll give you, your flowers, so to speak. And I feel like there's this energy of the Six of Wands at the bottom of like, I can do better, right? That's this energy right here. Victory. If I want victory, if I want recognition, I have to go start doing something. For some of you, it's like you have some creative passion, a spark. And there's been a fear of putting your work out there, a fear of taking the next steps, of starting a new journey, particularly if you're going to be a novice at it. And it kind of feels like you just talk yourself into it this month of like, yeah, I'm never going to feel comfortable at the beginning of this journey. I'm never going to know what I'm doing to start off, but I have to start somewhere. You talk yourself into it with this Ace, 7, and 8 of Wands, and it feels like it takes off. And you make some type of action to put something into play. Six of Swords, this action is by moving away from something. Some of you are literally moving. You're traveling. You're not talking to somebody anymore. You're done. You are done. Six of Wands, you might see a lot of repeating sixes. And the King of Swords, because you know what you want for yourself. 3 Cups at the bottom. This could be setting boundaries with friends. This could be somebody who you wanted a reconciliation with and you're just accepting like this is never going to happen. Or if it does happen, it's always like surface level. It's never what you want it to be, right? So even if you're getting what you want, it's not really what you want anymore. With the King of Swords, there's a vision. There's a plan, right? You have a plan for what you want. You can see down the road, right? And be like, this is how this plays out. And there's just been a fear of taking action to let something go or accept something new or both. And that's what's changing, is that it feels like you talk yourself into it this month and you take some kind of small step in the right direction. The small step feels like it's moving away from someone. This also can be putting yourself out there more with the Six of Wands. So very powerful energy, very take charge. This is what I'm seeing for you for your month ahead. I hope that's been helpful. I'm wishing you a safe, happy, healthy May, and I will hopefully see you soon. Also, separate note, by the way, I want to wish a happy birthday to all of my May Geminis out there. So, okay. Have a wonderful month, my friends, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.